Hello everybody, Jose Rodriguez here. In this video I'm going to show you how to access the manual feed in your Pro type Canon printers. This includes the Pro 9500 Mark II, Pro 100, Pro 10, and Pro 1. Now what is the rear feed used for, or the so-called manual feed? Well, it's used to feed more heavy type papers such as art type papers, lightweight cardstock, anything that will have trouble bending if it has been if it was fed through the normal top feeder. So as you can see in this diagram, this is from the Pro 100 manual. Basically I just typed in loading paper as the search criteria, and then loading paper in the manual feed tray, and this is what it displays. This is the top feeder. You would normally then close that. You would open up the top, pull the tray out, and in the back of the printer is located the rear feeder. Here's a good view of it right here, as you can see. Basically, you just simply insert the paper. You set the width of the paper as shown here, insert it until it is fully seated on the bottom of the paper feed area, and there are sensors that will detect the edge of the paper, and that's basically it. At this point you would then go ahead and choose the manual feed on the printer driver, and I will show you how to do that next. Here it tells you, very important, you need to load your paper in the portrait mode, not the landscape mode. Alright, so that is it for that. Let's go ahead and access our driver. By the way, I'm on Windows 10, 64-bit. We'll go ahead and pick the Pro 100, right click, printing preferences, and here is our printer driver. First thing you're going to do, you're going to print a photograph. You're going to click on photo printing. As you saw, it actually defaults to standard, which is really for documents containing text as well as some graphics. We want photo printing. We want to undo borderless. If we're not going to let the driver control color, we're going to let the application control color. You would choose color intensity, matching, and none. So let's go ahead and leave it as such. This is your paper type. We're going to pick our fine art paper if you so wish. Remember, if you pick a fine art paper, you're going to be forced to include a 35mm border on the trailing edge and leading edge. So we might want to reconsider choosing that mode. You can still use the manual feeder, but you can choose some other paper that best matches the media that you're going to be printing on. So for this case, let's just pick a matte paper such as this one here, and then we're going to pick the manual feed, and we'll pick the size, say legal, say letter, and that is it. Now in the maintenance tab, there's a function that you can choose in case you are getting some mild cases of head strikes. In other words, those will be shown as little smudges across the paper, meaning that the paper is too thick. It has actually curled possibly a little bit and causing the under portion of the head, in other words the nozzle plate, to actually physically contact the paper. We're going to click on custom settings and click on prevent paper abrasion and click OK. Once you do that, that will widen the plating gap, and here you can set it for longer or shorter drying times. In other words, it's going to make a pass, wait a while, make another pass, wait a while, and so on. If you put it on long, it's going to take much slower to print because it's going to make a pass, wait a few seconds, then make a secondary pass, wait a few seconds, and so on. If you put it on short, it's going to be actually hardly any waiting time. So always leave it in the middle. That's the best setting for that, and that's basically it. At this point, you will be ready to load your paper from the rear, and you should print beautifully without any kind of head strikes. So this is recommended for using thicker than normal media. Alright, I hope this little short video helped, and the person who asked should be able to extract at least some information on how to handle thicker stock on the Pro 100. So thank you once again for watching. Please subscribe and share and like as always. Until the next time, happy printing everybody. Bye bye.